Hello JHS parents, students, and staff members. This is your proud principal, Dr. Peacock, coming at you with something new we want to start, which is hopefully every week we want to come to you and tell you some of the great things that are happening at JHS and offer a few reminders. So let's jump right in this final week of February before we get into spring break. One more week of school before that spring break. Want to start off by saying how proud we are of our JHS Health Science program. We had 20 new certified medical assistants these last few weeks. Huge shout out to Ms. Reynolds, Ms. Bradford, Ms. Vance, and Mr. Dorman for all their hard work. Great job, Health Science. Also a big shout out to our JHS Maidens and Tribe basketball teams. Both teams went to the playoffs. Great season, great coaches, great players. We're very excited and very proud of their accomplishments this year on the hardwood. Next thing, I want to talk about the Visual Arts Scholastic event in the art world that's called VASE. We had 17 students at JHS. We have a lot of great artists here at the high school. 17 of them qualified or went to VASE competition this past weekend in Tyler. We had 7 students receive the highest rating of a 4. That's a very, very big deal. Very proud of our art teachers and art students. Big shout out to Ms. Farmer, Mr. Pfeiffer, and Ms. Goldsmith. Mr. Carney, Ms. Vance, and Mrs. Haney allowed the Biology PLC to observe phenomenal teaching. Shout out to them. FCCLA, several kids, Alia, Andrea, Lizbeth, Ruth, Alonzo, Yaneli, Kayla, 3rd place, 2nd place. We're doing a great job. State competitions throughout CTE. FFA, Ty Chandler, AgMech Project, Thad Hoffpower, Brian Arellano, 33 students competing in San Antonio, and we have 7 students visited the Capitol in Austin last week. A lot of great stuff happening with FFA. So let's stay in the CTE world with Taffy. Those are our future educators. We have 5 students whose projects made it to state. We had Caleb, Lauren, and Macy, Adrian, and Stevie doing great job with their literature books. Very proud of our Taffy program. Now it's time to talk about some important reminders, parents and students, that are coming up. First thing to remind everybody of is that Term 3 ends. This is the 3rd of 4 terms this year. Term 3 ends on Friday, March 10th. That's next Friday, March 10th. Grades for teachers due Sunday, March 12th. Remember, that's a minimum in each class of 3 test grades and 10 daily grades. Also want to remind everybody, not that you needed a reminder, that spring break is March 13th through 17th, coming up in a few weeks. Also, big announcement for the seniors and their parents. Seniors, remember that in order to graduate in the state of Texas, you must complete a FAFSA, a TAFSA, or an opt-out waiver. We've been talking to seniors about that since the beginning of the year. If you have any questions about that, please see your counselor, senior counselor, Ms. Katasha Robinson-Harris, or Ms. Sarah Stevens, our college and career advisor. Also want to remind everybody about the attendance incentive. Remember what that is. There are 3 planks of the attendance incentive. Students must be passing all of their classes for the semester. They cannot have more than 3 of the wrong absence. Parents, we sent home a letter in the report cards in January with a detailed sheet of what those absences are, what would count against a student and what wouldn't. Students, those posters are all over campus if you want to know. Please, students, if you have any questions, ask Miss Mary Carol Brown or Miss Tiffany Jacobson in the main office. The final plank of that attendance incentive is any student that is suspended out of school is not eligible for the attendance incentive. And remember, if you qualify for the attendance incentive, your last day of school will be on Friday, May 19th, and you'll be exempt from your semester exams. Seniors who qualify for the attendance incentive, their last day of class will be on that Tuesday, that last week of May. They will not take semester exams on the 17th. They'll have a senior trip. And of course, they have graduation on Friday, May 19th. Parents want to remind you guys to please check your students' progress in their classes in Skyward. If you have any questions about registering for Skyward Parent Access, please call the high school, 903-586-3661, and we'll help you out and get you that information that you need. Finally, a few extra things. We have the big mock English test for English 1 and English 2 next Tuesday, March 7th. It's a big deal. Parents, make sure you're reminding your students to get a lot of sleep for that exam. We also have TELPAS happening this week. So students, if you are testing and you get a sheet, a reminder sheet from Ms. Dotson, make sure you are in that room at the right time so you can do your very best on that exam. Finally, 2 more things. I want to remind all parents and students to remember that all trips and activities, and we have a lot of them going on right now at the high school. Students, if you have an X day in Skyward because you're at a school event or an activity, make sure you stay on top of your grades and do not fall far behind in your classes. We treasure your involvement in those extracurriculars, but it's important that you not fall behind academically, because if you do, you won't be eligible to participate in all those awesome activities and events. Finally, I want to remind everyone, remember that dress code and your ID badges as we get into the spring. We're very, very appreciative of our partnership with our awesome parents and community members. Students, have a great week. Thanks for all of your hard work. Have a great week, JHS.